The word vibecession has actually been around for almost 3 years now. We had this weird sentiment tick down and, inflation was going down, GDP was strong, the labor market was strong, so people were feeling really bad, the economy was okay. And that's kind of how we are now. And obviously it's a little bit different because we have so much uncertainty now. We just don't know what sort of press conference we're going to get and what sort of announcement we're going to get about tariffs. So people are really feeling bad because of that uncertainty. But when you look at the GDP report, under the hood, the economy is still relatively strong. People imported a lot of stuff to try and get ahead of these tariffs. But if you look at the labor market report, we saw a lot of losses in government jobs because of DOGE, tech jobs because they're recalibrating over there, I think. But most sectors are doing okay, right? Inflation is doing okay. But the future matters. And this is the tough part about sentiment. And it's why the Federal Reserve pays so close attention to inflation expectations, because how people feel ultimately might manifest some sort of downturn. And it sounds nuts. You're talking about vibes, you're talking about manifestation. If you're really worried about the economy, you might stockpile, buy up a bunch of rice and beans and, not spend any money for the next 6 months.
Coffee. Don't forget, people always forget coffee when you're stockpiling.
And one thing with the vibe session was people thought that it was saying that the feelings don't matter. A house is both a speculative asset and a place to live.
Right.
And so people feel bad that they can't achieve that foundation of the American dream, right? And so that shows up in how people feel. And things like childcare and elder care shows up in how people feel about the economy. And the economic data might be saying things are okay, but you have a housing crisis, you have the Gen X generation getting totally squeezed on both ends with the childcare and elder care cost. And then you have inflammatory aspects of social media where people, the first thing that they see when they wake up in the morning is a headline telling them that the world is going to end. And so, of course, people feel bad.
Yeah.
But there are real structural factors to that sentiment being negative that isn't always captured by the economic data that we use.
So people act kind of very bullishly, right? And we know that consumer spending has been pretty strong. But, are the way that people talk and the way that people act just sort of different when it comes to the economy these days?
So, yeah, it is a disconnect in a very big way. People feel a certain way, but their behaviors don't always reflect how they're feeling.
So